Hello, folks. As we near the end of production of this animation, one of the final steps we need to do is import some audio. Now, audio can be anything from sound effects to voiceovers to background music, like we're going to create for this particular animation. One thing to keep in mind that when animating to voiceovers, you'll probably want the audio first so you have something to animate to. But in this example, we are just going to import some background music, and I'm going to show you how to sync it up and have it play seamlessly through each one of your scenes using nothing but Flash. So the first thing we need to do is import music to our library. So I will do that. I'll go over to File, Import to Library, and in the GShare, I have a folder for course references, and within that folder there's a folder for music, and I have a pretty generic French song, and I don't know what any of the lyrics are talking about, but it sounds very French, and I think that it is suitable for this particular animation because Sally is walking through Paris at night. So, with it imported into my library, the first thing I want to do is actually give it a layer. And I'm going to put that layer close to the top. It doesn't matter where you actually put it because this audio is invisible essentially, so you won't see it actually on the scene or anything. So it doesn't matter its placement in the stack. But I will title it music, and on the very first frame with the scrubber, I will select the music file, the MP3, from the library and drag it directly onto the stage. You'll know you have done that successfully when we look over here on our timeline, and in the music layers timeline, you'll actually see the waveform of this audio. So now this scene actually has music in it, and when you scrub it, you can actually hear the music playing. Now this is where it really pays to keep track of the actual seconds of your scene. So for this particular portion of the scene, under elapsed time, down here at the very bottom of the timeline, is 6.7 seconds. And you can see it in these three numbers given: the frame count, the current frames per second, and the elapsed time. So 6.7 seconds. And why that's important is that when we import the exact same music file into the next scene, we don't want it to start from the very beginning, because then it'll sound funny, as when this scene plays out and the next scene starts, it will sound as if the music has started all over again. So we want, in the next scene, in the walk scene, the music to start at the point in which the music in the intro scene leaves off. So at 6.7 seconds. Now I'm going to go over here into the walk scene and move the scrubber to the very beginning. And again, I'm going to give myself a new layer. Again, I'm going to title it music and drag the music file right onto the stage. So this is where I'm going to have to do some editing to the music. So I will click the first frame of the music. And what really needs to happen is I need it to be on stream, and the repeat number over here needs to be 0. So that's the first thing I need to change. Then next to effect, I need to come over here to edit sound envelope, click that pencil tool, and I'll get another dialog box. Now I have made a note of it from the previous frame, or the previous scene. It had ended at 6.7 seconds. So right now I need to create a sound envelope where this music essentially starts at that point. So if we look at this window here, if we look across the middle here, this is actually the elapsed time, or the seconds. So this is 0.5 of a second, and it works in points of 5. So this is 5.5, and then 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, and then 10. So this is how we're going to do it. So what we're going to look for is something in between. This is actually, this indicator right here actually creates a sound envelope. So this is actually going to be the start of the sound on your animation, and we need to scrub this over to 6.7. So let me zoom out so I can see it. This is actually kind of a tricky thing to work with. So what I'm going to do is drag it to about over here and zoom back in so I can. Now whenever I move this arrow, it's going to start from the beginning, so I'll have to scrub over to where we're at. There we are. Now this right here is 6.5, 6.6, and 6.7 right there. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let's see. This is going in multiples of 5. It must be. And we want 6.7. So 5, 5, 6, 0, 6, 5, 6.7. So we're right on the dot still. So I'm going to say OK. And so now our audio is going to start exactly on that point. And so let's go ahead and export it, and so we can actually make sure that's what's happening. So let's export this into a Swift to make sure that the first two scenes, their audio syncs up. That was seamless. That's exactly what we're going for in this. So obviously we're on the right track. So let's continue on to first we need to go to the end of this animation. So and mark down what the last frame, on what second that is. So here we go. We are at 15 seconds exactly. Now, we actually have to add 6.7 seconds to this 15 seconds in order to get an accurate read of what has already elapsed in playback, because we already have 6.7 seconds playing from the first scene. So now an additional 15 seconds of the song has played. So that gives us 21.7 seconds. So when we go to the end, scene, and we create a new layer just like we did in the other scenes. We'll title it music, and we'll drag this one on here. So now we will also, first we'll have to click that first frame. Make sure that our sync is at stream over here in the properties menu, that the repeat is actually 0, and then we will click the pencil for edit sound envelope. And now we know that we have to start this one at 21.7 for the animation that I have particularly, while yours will be a little bit different. Now if you see this line right here, when you look at the envelope, this line indicates the amount of time that the whole animation takes place. So this is actually the mark of the final frame, and it has nothing to do with when this music will start. It actually indicates when the music's going to stop, and that can be helpful if you need to put like a envelope in here where you want the sound to reduce to so it fades out. But for now, let's go ahead and just zoom in here. Again, I want to be at 21.7. So there we go. There's 21. There's 21.5, 0.6, 0.7. So let's go ahead and drag this over here to, and I'm actually going to zoom in even more so I can make sure, and 0.75. So remember, it was 21.50, 21.55, 21.60, 21.65, and then this would be 21.70. So we're still spot on. I'm going to click OK, and just to double check to make sure that everything sounds great, I'm going to export this video again. So again, we're working for seamless transitions. That was epic. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted it to sound like. First try, I really like that. Now what I want to do is, since this portion of the animation, we're going to have a button in here, anywhere you decide to put the button for replay. And I would like to extend this portion, where it says end, and where you can listen to the song a little bit before you actually have to commit to hit replay. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to extend this for another, who knows, maybe let's say 6 seconds, another 6 seconds. So I'm on frame 179. So I will say 179 plus 144, which is 6 seconds. So at frame 323 over here, I just want the music and the let's see right here, the music and these 3 layers to extend this far. So all you see is the end, and when we come back, we create the next video, we will put a button in here. But let's watch this one more time so you can see what I'm saying, how the music continues to play, and we'll throw a replay button in here.
madame, c'est là que j'ai laissé.
That's perfect. That's great. So that's how you import music, and that's how you edit it in a sound envelope. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email or address it on the Mighty Bell. And I look forward to seeing you in class. Thank you.